Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Go Racing. You're probably wondering what I'm doing sitting in my messy room rather than a race car. Well, this is why. Sim racing. As most of you have gotten to know me through grassroots and returning to racing as I did in 2017, there's a reason that I was able to do so with such ease and come back from sort of a 10-year hiatus from karting, from the early touring car that I did. And this is it. Sim racing is invaluable, I think, in today's racing world as both a tool and another accessible means of motorsport that in its own right has become something very, very significant, very competitive. As someone who comes from esports, I've always believed in virtual competition and I know the power that it can have. Of all the computer games across the spectrum, this is the most applicable to a real life context in that I've got a steering wheel, pedals, the physics are incredible in a lot of the games today and a lot of the sims today. So to see those two things come together, both esports and sim racing, makes me incredibly happy. And I'm super happy that Porsche is one of the companies to do it because I think the Porsche Cup in real life, the Super Cup in Europe, or the Porsche Cup Canada, as I know it here in Canada, is probably the best single make racing series in the world. Porsche is currently running a $100,000 championship, of which they've had 7 rounds already. They have 10 in total. And today we're going to preview the next one, which comes up on Saturday, and you guys can watch on Twitch. It's at Nürburgring. So we're going to do a baseline test, which means I'm going to run no setup. I'm going to take the car straight out of the box, and we're going to see how fast we can get. I know the guys in the championship will probably be running high 56s in qualifying, maybe low 57s. My aim today is to try and get into the 59s, and we're just going to jump in and go for it. So, here we go. Porsche Supercup at the Nürburgring. They run the WEC or BES version of the circuit, which has the more open second chicane. I prefer that, especially in a touring car, which isn't quite as pointy. Now, one of the things that the Porsche is, it's very understeery by default. If you're not familiar with sim racing, by the way, as you've gotten to know me through grassroots racing and accessible motorsport, or at least the slightly more accessible, well, this might be the ultimate in access. Between karting and sim racing, there's a reason why F1 has the youngest average driver age I think it's ever seen, and that's because not only have they had karting, but they've had access to this, which is a tool. Sim racing is where I learned to heel toe properly. It's where I've learned to be very delicate in my right foot. Eyes forward, getting an understanding of the braking points, hand-eye coordination, they're all emphasized in sim racing. But this is a legit form of motorsport that if you're not involved in, you should be. Oh, we're off to a good one. We're gonna get an X for that. No, we were on a good one. Could have been a great start. It's a very technical track, obviously not quite like the North Loop, the Nordschleife, but it's technical in its own right. A lot of the braking points are downhill, which makes them very delicate. And the Porsche, given that it's still rear-engined and it's 485 horsepower over the rear axle, they weigh, I think, 1,305 kilograms with driver. Now, they say with driver, but obviously in sim, thank goodness my gut's not accounted for, but it's a spec series. But with that said, it's very rear heavy and therefore tail happy, and braking becomes so delicate, so fine. You really have to cover the car going in a straight line. That momentum has to be traveling pretty straightforward. Still haven't quite got this chicane down. It's funny, when I do the VLN version of the track, I feel like I fly through there, but the GP track being shorter just accentuates all of those little mistakes, those little delicacies. All right, let's focus here. Let's see if we can get down there. 159 is the goal. My optimal says a 159.2 is possible. Ooh, little deep, little deep. It's not the worst thing. The car's got so much grunt with all the power that you can really leave it quite low in the revs and come out of it. Just as in real life, there's no traction control or ABS. I don't think I had an X there. I think I overcorrected and we got one. I'm gonna have to spot that up. But there's no traction control, no ABS. It makes it, oh, as you can see, a real driver's car. So that tiny little bit of steering input that I had on, that was enough that with the brakes locked, we were gone. It's not forgiving, that's for sure. What a championship, though. I mean, it makes the racing so close. With 3 rounds left, including this one, there's 4 drivers that can still win the championship, an availability of 160 points per race. The front 2 are separated by only, I think, 9 points right now. It is remarkably close. You really do have to be patient on the brakes. Bit too patient there. Whoop! Big slide. All right, let's get a focus on here. Big wide entry to get a run onto the front straight for the hot lap. Here we go. Understeer. I don't think we have it. I think we lost way too much at the end. No, not good enough. We got to go again. Go again. Let's get some freshies on. It's incredible the support that some of these guys have too. Porsche Esports being involved, Team Redline being involved, obviously Red Bull Racing being involved with a few drivers, and iRacing being fully supportive, as well as obviously Porsche. All right, we got to focus. We got to get one in. We're looking hot in the first sector. The rest isn't so good today. This is my least favorite corner, I think. This section, this downhill run to the hairpin. Oh, you can see why. You can see why. You can see why I saved it. Tokyo, what up? All right, just the outlap. Here we go. All right, to lift. Oh, come on now. Ah, that understeer. Oh, no X though. Man, I'm slow as hell through there today. I'm tight on entry here too because of it. Can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? Ah, 0.5 thousandths off. It's not good enough then. We got to do it again. Not bad. It's that change in camber that really throws it, doesn't it? This has to be it. This is it. This got to be it. There it is. 159.9. Definitely not a low 59, but we've done it. We've done it. Man, oh man, you got to be accurate. I still lost 0.3 in that last sector. We had a purple in there. Man, oh man. It's addicting. This is like more competitive than even sometimes I get in my car when I know the track and everything's great and everything's set up. This is it's hard work. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty sick. Let's jump out. So there you go. Hopefully that gives you guys some indication of how incredible sim racing could be. I love the Porsche Cup car. So raw, so pure, real driver's car. Definitely takes a ton of skill to get it right, especially in iRacing, which is very delicate on the inputs. Looks great in the sim. I think it's a fantastic looking car. It's always been sort of one of my favorite race cars. I'd love to drive one in real life at some point. Hopefully you guys see the value in sim racing, and definitely you guys should check out the Porsche Cup the Super Cup with iRacing. So we'll put a link down below so you guys can check it out, and as well as a live stream link to Twitch so you guys can find all the action there at 1400 GMT this Saturday, July 27th. 3 races left to go. Championships wide open, $100,000 on the line. Check it out and definitely get yourself a setup. Sit down, dust off your pedals, your PlayStation, your computer, whatever it is. And I need to get on here more and practice more because it's addicting. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again on Let's Go Racing.